All right, natural family care. This is kind of one of those things where I really enjoy this subject because it takes us back a couple decades where, if we really think about it, where our grandparents and great-grandparents, there was a lot more natural family care that was done in the home. It was effective. It was something that it seemed like it was kind of the matriarchal duty to know these remedies in the house and to have these things around. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that we hit on these high points, because this is one of the things that must be taken back in the American home if we want to begin to benefit from our body's own ability to heal. Okay? All of us, remember, we talked about immunity and your body's capability of healing itself. Natural family care, all it does is it respects that innate immunity that's there, and it uses, whether it's homeopathy or herbs or spices or any combination of those things, it uses that to support your body through its own healing process. It is not at all something that covers up symptoms and allows a disease process to stay. That's why we like natural family care, because it is very much unlike our conventional approach or a lot of our habitual reactions to colds and things like that, which is take a painkiller, which isn't actually getting rid of what caused the pain. It's just stopping your body from accepting the pain symptom or giving out the pain symptom. All right? So let's take a look here at what natural family care is. What is it that we mean? What's the definition? First of all, we define it as the process of taking care of first aid types of symptoms in the home that may come up acutely or chronically, so they may come up fast, or they may be things that stick around for a while, by attending to the root cause of the problem and supporting the body. Natural family care is never getting in the body's way or trying to impose your will on the body. It is always a support mechanism to help the body respond, to resolve the problem once and for all. All right? The second part of that, natural family care is also the preventive lifestyle actions that support the body in its own healing and minimizes most healing problems from happening in the first place. So your lifestyle is part of natural family care at home. What you do every day, whether or not you have symptoms in your body, whether you feel great or whether you've got a headache today or whether you just don't have a lot of energy today, the lifestyle that you live on a day-to-day basis is 100% a part of the natural family care in your home. Okay? So these factors also equip the body to heal and attend to health challenges more efficiently. How many people here, if you get a cold that sets in, would like it to go away as quickly as possible, to have your body efficient in responding? I think we all would like that. Pay attention to this lesson, because you will find out tips and tricks to do that. And you'll find that you also have a resource in that reference guide of yours. You have a resource in the back that will help you a lot in building your own natural family care little medicine chest at home. So, this is our goal as you go through this lesson. Number one, who wants to reduce unnecessary doctor visits? Hey, it's not that we don't like our docs. These are great people. They have wonderful hearts. They've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to go through school for you. And they give their lives to spending hours and hours and hours in offices seeing very grumpy patients. Yeah, you're not so pleasant either. I'm just saying that because I've been in that environment. It's interesting how that dynamic is, because when you're not feeling well and the doctors are overloaded with other people who aren't feeling well, it just kind of ends up being this tough environment to be in. So what we want to do is we want to eliminate the unnecessary doctor visits. Those things for sore throats and plugged up noses and congestion and headaches and allergies, and those things that we can take care of on our own. All right? Reduce medical costs. This is a big one coming down the pipeline for you, whether you know it or not, because the cost of medical care is going to increase and has been increasing if you haven't been following the trend lately. And I think you probably all have. employers are not going to be able to afford to pay as much as they used to. So not only is the cost going to continue to go up, your portion of that cost is going to increase as well if you have an employer's health insurance that you depend on for your family. What you learn in this lesson and what you are going to be able to start to employ and get better at will help you to eliminate and reduce medical costs in many different areas. Reduce insurance premiums and claims. Obviously, less of a headache with that stuff is always going to be welcomed, at least in my household. Replace potentially harmful prescription and over-the-counter drugs with safer natural alternatives. There is no doubt you can't turn your eye to the fact that now we know that there's well over 100,000 deaths a year from properly prescribed medication. Not overdoses, not mistakes, simply people taking it exactly how they've been told to and it not working out so well. So what we want to do is we want to find natural alternatives that don't have these types of side effects that can actually do a better job than what we're taking a lot of the medications for. Okay? That's one of our primary goals in this lesson. And also to understand natural healing and resolutions to everyday health issues that may occur. Those are the primary goals. Okay? So, what are the frontline points that we really want to pay attention to? All right? These are the first things in natural family care before we get any further. Number one, understand that the vast majority of disease is preventable and reversible in most cases. To phrase it a different way, understanding that the vast majority of disease is preventable, reversible, and in most cases unnecessary. Most of the stuff that's going on in our society right now as it relates to symptoms is unnecessary. We're causing it ourselves through our lifestyles. Can we agree with that? Most diabetes, we know, is completely lifestyle related, and diabetes is killing hundreds of thousands of people a year. So the first thing that we have to continue to remember as we've gone through this course, and we've repeated it several times, is that most disease is preventable. So the symptoms that we're coming up against, it's important to know that when they get there, they're reversible. They could have been prevented by lifestyle in most situations, but now that they're there, know that they can be reversed. Number two, sourcing your food from the most unprocessed and most nutrient-dense places possible. That is a huge part of your natural family care plan at home. Making sure that you're getting your food from a place that grows it appropriately, that doesn't expose that food to unneeded chemicals in its growth process, and that it's harvested when it is seasonally ready and in its most nutrient-dense form. That is one of the most potent things you can do for natural family care at home. Number three, make sure to consume adequate amounts of essential nutrients to strengthen your body and optimize its ability to heal itself. We all remember what essential nutrients are, right? There's only a couple classes of them. You've got your essential amino acids, which are your protein building blocks, your essential fatty acids, which is your LA and ALA, omega-3 and 6, and you've got essential minerals. These are things that the body cannot synthesize on its own, and you must get in your diet. We also discussed how it's very difficult to get those things in adequate form in our diet, and that's where supplements can be greatly helpful. Whole food supplements that deliver these essential nutrients can help as kind of your insurance policy, so to speak, against dealing with a lot of unnecessary diseases or symptom processes coming up. Number four, reducing and eliminating the foods that challenge the body's health and lack nutrients. This is obviously a pretty easy step. You guys are all kind of going like, yeah, I get it. But it needs to be said. One of the first things that you can do to reduce and eliminate the need for care at home is to reduce the stuff, putting the stuff in your body that causes the problems in the first place. Get the foods out of your home that don't have a purpose for your health. And if you're going to have dessert, you guys know how to make a healthier dessert now. You know how to switch out ingredients and make sure that those ingredients each individually are sourced properly and they're delivering nutrition, even if you're eating dessert. Okay? So reducing and eliminating those foods is a big part. Number 5, reducing the environmental exposures to toxins and waste that can break down your body's defenses and interrupt normal functioning of systems. We covered this extensively in Lesson 7, right? We all know that environment has now become much, much, much more important because our exposure to these types of things on a day-to-day basis is much higher now than it used to be. We have way more chemicals in our hygiene products and way more electronics around us, all interfering with our body's systems on a day-to-day basis. These aren't necessarily things that we can always reduce, but we can stop buying products that are made with chemicals that we don't need to be buying. So this is switching out your hygiene products and make sure that you're not smearing, endocrine disrupting hormone mimicking chemicals all over your skin every day. Okay? Switching out and buying new products. And number 6, one of the first lines of defense for natural family care at home is getting adequate physical activity in your daily lifestyle. Without a doubt, after Lesson 8, you should know that your body's defenses are at their peak when you are getting your body moving with your weekly plan. You don't have to do it necessarily every day, but there are little things you can do every day to make sure you're still getting your blood flowing and keeping your system moving. But getting adequate physical activity is by far one of the most effective ways to keep your system up so you don't even need to worry about family care in the first place. All right? So note this, that every lesson up to this point has been vital to building the foundation of the preventative natural family care routine. Every single one of them. And it means that it's been focused on the things that you will do every day to build a strong body and strong defenses. All right? Everything you've learned up to this point is going to help you in this lesson to make sure that you are ready for natural family care. All right, so what I want to do before we hop into the tactical stuff and start going over that is I want to make sure that we first are identifying symptoms appropriately, because it's really important when you're doing family care at home to know what a symptom is and to properly identify it. Because most of us have been taught that the symptom is the disease itself. For example, when we walk into a conventional doctor's office, we have high cholesterol, for example, and we look at high cholesterol as a disease. It's called hyperlipidemia, with no attention paid to what actually caused the liver to start producing more cholesterol in the first place, which is actually the disease process. What caused the high cholesterol, not high cholesterol itself? The high cholesterol is just the symptom. All right, so we're going to make sure, by starting this out, make sure we understand what symptoms are. So we're responding the right way to your body's communication system.